I have here a felting mat, a felting sponge, some roving yarn, and my felting pen and a felting needle. Now, a felting needle has got little barbs on it. Let me just see if I can get this. A felting needle has little barbs on it, tiny, tiny little barbs. If you run your nail over the needle, you'll actually catch it and feel it. Those barbs pull the fiber through your surface or your fabric and pushes it down so that it actually joins and it becomes a thicker piece, like felt, and also like our batting. Our batting is made in the same way. Now, yes, my sponge is well worn because it is well used, and personally I've been using this for a very, very long time, sponges, and they wear out very fast. A better idea is the felting mat, which is like it's a brush. It's quite hard. I wouldn't brush my hair with it. I might give my dog a brush with it, but it is nice and hard and sturdy, so you don't need to worry that if you push down on it, it's gonna give way. It's not like a soft brush. Now, in this project that we're doing, we are actually going to felt through fabric, which is really a way of doing applique, and most people would do it with the roving yarn. Now, the yarn that we are using is twisted in places, so it has got a nice twist where it has been spun, and then in places it is really just like roving. So where it's nice and thin like that, it would work for couching. But where it looks like that, it doesn't work for couching because it just gathers in the foot and causes a mess. So the best alternative for using yarn like that is felting. So we can still add it to our quilts, we just need to use a different method. So a felting needle, as I said, has got little barbs in it. So if I were to take this needle and go through this guy quite a few times, it's eventually going to adhere to my fabric a little bit. You can see that it is adhering to my fabric, but I can still pull it loose. And you can see the nice little holes in our fabric, and that's good that you can see that so that you can understand what it's doing to the fabric. If I use my pen, which has got 3 needles in it, it's going to go a little bit faster. And I can literally go over it, add a few levels to it, all these kinds of things. There is different ways of felting. It gives you a different result. So on the yarn that we use on our quilt, I do sometimes do this, because it does tend to get my yarn through my fabric a little bit faster, and the change in direction by giving it a bit of an angle creates a slightly different shape of the fibers, so it rounds it out. If I take another piece here, which is not so easy to just yank off. Let's take this little piece over here. In places the yarn is thick like this, then I would actually just roll it over, trying to find the same direction that it has been twisted in and giving it my own little twist. I'm literally taking the yarn from this side and just turning it over the other and giving it a little bit of a shape. That is essentially what felting is. So you're going to get different results by just moving your needle in different directions. If you keep doing that, it's going to take a little bit longer, but your fibers are going to spread out. If you do something like that, you are going to get them on top of each other, and then I would go and just get them down on the fabric a little bit more. You could also go and play around a little bit with a cookie cutter, and you literally put your roving, would be better for this, and you go and you follow the cookie cutter. Try to keep your fingers out of the way, and in this way you can felt shapes onto your fabric. Okay, so that needs a little bit more work to get a nice hard shape, but you do get the idea. So when I finished that, I would actually still then come and go and tidy it up, make sure I've got my shape nice. I want to show you what's happening underneath, because when you look at your quilt, you're also going to see that the fibers come through. So what we are doing is we're pushing the yarn through the fabric and getting it through on this side. The more of these you have on this side, the better adherence you're going to have.